Johnny's Bar and Grill, Mexican and American cuisine with daily and weekly specials, juicy burgers, mouth-watering tacos, and more. 1519 West Highway 150 in Lincolnton.
I'm Ralph Mangum here on the WHKY News, where it's time for our weekly look back at some of the crime stories we had for you during the week of June 2nd through June 6th. Let's get started.
The incident occurred here in the Mountain View community of Catawba County. Aaron Turk, a major with the Catawba County Sheriff's Office, said during a news conference we attended on Sunday near the scene of the incident that authorities responded to the scene 2 different times. They were called out at approximately 11 o'clock Saturday night due to a noise complaint, and they returned approximately an hour and a half later following the shooting. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation are continuing to investigate the mass shooting that occurred early Sunday morning. It occurred at a home on Walnut Acres Drive here in the Mountain View community of Catawba County. 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood of Lenoir was killed in the incident. There were 7 other people reported hospitalized as a result of the shooting. One person was reported to be in critical condition as of the time I'm filing this report. The victims range in age from 16 to 58. Authorities said that approximately 80 shots were fired during the incident. It occurred during a party at the residence. Authorities say that the crime scene spans all of Walnut Acres Drive. Agencies continue to investigate this case. If you have information on this incident, or if you or anyone you know attended the party at the scene of the shooting, contact the Catawba County Sheriff's Office. The phone number is 828-464-3112. And be sure to check our website, WHKY.com, for updates on this and all news stories. Reporting from Mountain View, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
Thank you, Rob. Our condolences to Mr. Hood's family and loved ones, and best wishes for a speedy and complete recovery to all those who were injured. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is offering a $15,000 reward for information leading to the identity, arrest, and successful prosecution of the suspects or suspects in connection with that shooting. Anyone with information should contact the Catawba County Sheriff, 828-464-3112, or upload video or photos at fbi.gov/Catawba County shooting. 54-year-old James Matthew Roland, with no listed address, has been arrested on charges of malicious use of explosives with damage to property, attempting to damage occupied property by use of an explosive or incendiary device, and second-degree kidnapping. He was jailed June 2nd in the Catawba County Detention Facility with no bond amount listed. An appearance in District Court was set for June 3rd in Newton.
Multiple agencies are involved in this investigation. They include the Catawba County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. As the probe into this incident continues, the Sheriff's Office is asking homeowners and business owners in 3 specific areas for assistance. Investigators are asking for footage on Highway 127, Huffman Farm Road, and Pittstown Road. Investigators are aware of videos circulating on social media related to the party that was going on at the time the shooting occurred, and they are encouraging citizens to upload those videos or pictures to fbi.gov/Catawba County shooting. 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood of Lenoir was killed in the incident. 11 other people were injured. The incident occurred at about 12:45 a.m. Sunday at a home on Walnut Acres Drive in Catawba County's Mountain View community. The incident occurred at a party being held at the residence. Police report approximately 80 shots were fired. Police were originally called to the home at approximately 11 p.m. Saturday for a noise complaint, and then they returned to the home approximately an hour and a half later after the shooting was reported. You can continue to follow this story as we receive updates at our website, WHKY.com. And again, if you have information on the case, contact the Catawba County Sheriff's Office at 828-464-3112. Reporting from Catawba County for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
The victims in a shooting Saturday in Burke County have been identified. One man was killed. He is 34-year-old Gregory Adonis Rutherford. Mr. Rutherford was pronounced deceased at UNC Health Blue Ridge. 53-year-old Jerry Jerome Benjamin was also injured and was listed in stable condition at last report. 24-year-old Jonathan Michael Benjamin sustained non-life-threatening injuries and declined medical treatment. The incident took place at about 5:45 p.m. Saturday on Cathy Road in Morganton near the entrance to Bell Farm. The Burke County Sheriff's Office and the SBI are conducting an ongoing investigation. Anyone with information should call the Sheriff's Office, 828-438-5500. Our condolences to Mr. Rutherford's family and loved ones.
We first reported on the arrest of this suspect in our Monday news. More details have been released. According to police reports, the suspect told authorities he intentionally fired at a truck in an effort to cause an explosion. 54-year-old James Matthew Roland of Lenoir was arrested by Maiden Police Monday. He's charged with offenses including felony counts of second-degree kidnapping, malicious use of explosives with damage to property, attempted burning of personal property, possession of a firearm by a felon, and possession with intent to sell or deliver methamphetamine. Maiden police were dispatched to the parking area beside the Country Market convenience store on Startown Road in response to a subject who reportedly fired shots into a vehicle. Officers determined that a then unknown male approached a parked tractor trailer, pointed a pistol at the driver, and ordered the driver out of the truck. The driver complied, and as the driver walked away, the suspect fired shots directly into the tractor trailer's fuel tank. The suspect, Roland, reportedly told investigators he fired shots into the truck's fuel tank in an attempt to cause an explosion. As of the time I'm filing this report, police had not released any information regarding a motive for firing those shots at that truck. There were no injuries in this incident. Roland was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility following the arrest without bond as he awaited a Tuesday court appearance. Reporting from Catawba County for WHKY News, this is Rob Eastwood.
40-year-old Roger Lee Sparks of Highway 70A East in Hildebrand was arrested last Thursday by Burke County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony counts of possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for a controlled substance. He's also charged with 3 felony and 2 misdemeanor probation violations and misdemeanor resisting a public officer. Sparks had been on Burke County's most wanted list since April 25th of this year. On Thursday, Burke County Sheriff's officers assisted the United States Marshals and Longview Police in apprehending Sparks. He was taken into custody at an address on Main Avenue Drive Northwest in Hickory. Following his arrest, Sparks was jailed under a $540,000 secured bond with a court date coming up Friday.
33-year-old Cameron Lynn Webb of Morganton has been arrested by officers with the Morganton Department of Public Safety on felony counts of breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, possession of stolen goods, and possession of controlled substance on jail premises, along with misdemeanor counts of larceny and possession of stolen goods. On June 1st at about 10:30 a.m., officers responded to a reported larceny in the area of Morganton Heights Boulevard. A Walmart employee said her personal cell phone was stolen by a male customer in the store. The suspect then fled the scene. Using tracking software on the phone, officers found the device at TJ Maxx and made contact with Webb. They confirmed that he had been in the Walmart store earlier. Officers saw that Webb had a new cooler. Surveillance video from Walmart confirmed that Webb exited the store with the cooler without paying for it and also took the employee's cell phone. In addition, officers learned that Webb was banned from Walmart in 2019. At that time, a district court judge ordered that Webb not be found in or on the premises of any Walmart on planet Earth. Webb is currently on pretrial release and was held without bond in the Burke County Jail. Jail personnel then discovered a controlled substance concealed on Webb's person. He was scheduled to make a first appearance in district court on June 2nd. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY News.
The first arrest in this case was made Tuesday. A Caldwell County resident was taken into custody. This suspect was already out on bond in connection to a case from April. He was charged in connection to an incident in Hickory. The suspect already faces multiple felony assault charges in connection to that incident. On Tuesday, 20-year-old Garen Nathaniel Killian of Lenoir was arrested and charged with one count of attempted first-degree murder in connection to the shooting early Sunday morning on Walnut Acres Drive in Mountain View that resulted in 1 death and 11 additional injuries. The deceased is 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood of Lenoir. Following the arrest on Tuesday, Killian was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton without bond. He was scheduled to make a first appearance in court Wednesday. Law enforcement executed multiple search warrants Tuesday as part of the investigation, and additional arrests are anticipated. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office is asking homeowners and business owners in 4 specific areas for assistance. Investigators are seeking footage on Highway 127, Huffman Farm Road, Pittstown Road, and Bethel Church Road. Investigators are aware of videos circulating on social media related to the party that was going on when this shooting occurred, and they are encouraging citizens to upload those videos or pictures to fbi.gov/Catawba County shooting. If you have any information on this case, call the Catawba County Sheriff's Office at 828-464-3112, and you can continue to follow this story at our website, WHKY.com. Reporting from the Catawba County Justice Center in Newton, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
Thank you, Rob. After Rob filed that report, we learned that bond for Killian has been set at $200,000 secured, contrary to the wishes of law enforcement personnel who attended a briefing this afternoon. At last report, Killian remained in jail in Catawba County. He also faces multiple charges in connection with a different shooting in April of this year in Hickory. Bond on those charges was set at $50,000. Following today's appearance, no additional court dates on the latest charges were listed. However, Killian will appear in court on August 4th on the charges from April. Officers are asking for the public's assistance in locating 3 additional suspects. Toland Huff Jr. is wanted on 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. Patrick Lee Tolbert and Raekwon Malik Craig are both wanted on 3 counts of aiding and abetting a person under 21 years of age by allowing the possession of alcoholic beverages. And again, anyone with information should call the Catawba County Sheriff, 828-464-3112.
That's correct, Ralph. A Lenoir woman charged with the murder of her child is now being held in Alexander County custody. 27-year-old Paige Nicole Blue was transferred to the Alexander County Detention Center from Caldwell County on Monday, June 2nd. Blue was arrested in April by Lenoir police and charged with the murder of her 7-month-old child. The arrest came after a lengthy investigation that began on March 16, 2023, when emergency responders were called to a home on Forest Hill Park Place in Lenoir for an infant in cardiac arrest. Despite life-saving efforts, the child was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy revealed the infant died from fentanyl toxicity. A lethal dose of the drug was found in the child's system. Blue is being held in the Alexander County Detention Center without bond. Her next Caldwell County Superior Court date is set for July 7th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY News.
In today's top stories, 2 suspects are being sought in connection with a mass shooting Sunday in Mountain View. According to the Catawba County Sheriff's Office, Toland Huff Jr. and Keandre O'Neill Mack are both wanted on 1 count apiece of attempted first-degree murder. The charges are connected with the alleged crimes of 20-year-old Garen Nathaniel Killian of Lenoir, who was previously charged. WHKY's Rob Eastwood has more.
22-year-old Patrick Lee Tolbert of Hickory and 21-year-old Raekwon Malik Craig of Taylorsville have both been arrested and charged with 3 counts apiece of aiding and abetting a person under 21 years of age by allowing the possession of alcoholic beverages. These charges are related to the planning and promotion of the party at the residence on Walnut Acres Drive where the shooting occurred. The incident resulted in the death of 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood of Lenoir and also resulted in injuries to 11 other people. Continue to check our website, WHKY.com, for updates on this case. And if you have any information, call the Catawba County Sheriff's Office at 828-464-3112. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Thank you, Rob. After Rob recorded that piece, we learned that 18-year-old Isaiah Zay Mitchell of Morganton has been named as a person of interest in connection with the Mountain View case. Mitchell is wanted for robbery with a dangerous weapon from an incident in Burke County. He is considered armed and dangerous. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office is requesting assistance in locating Mitchell. In addition, Zoe McKenna Braswell has been arrested and charged with 1 count of accessory after the fact to attempted first-degree murder. That statement was released by the Catawba County Sheriff's Office shortly after noon Thursday. No additional information, including Braswell's bond and court date, is currently available. We have also learned that bond for Garen Killian has been revoked in connection with the case from April of this year. He's now being held without bond on those earlier charges, which include assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, going armed to the terror of the people, and discharging a firearm in the city limits. He has been given a $200,000 bond on the charges from Sunday's incident in Mountain View.
Correct, Ralph. A Connolly Springs man turned himself in after 1 day of being on Burke County's most wanted list. 37-year-old William David Pope of Connolly Springs was wanted on charges of felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. On Wednesday, June 4th, William David Pope turned himself in to the Burke County Magistrate's Office. He was on the Burke County's most wanted list for 1 day. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY News.
Thursday was a busy day for investigators. The Sheriff's Office announced the arrests of 18-year-old Zoe McKenna Braswell of Cages Mountain in Caldwell County, 19-year-old Keandre O'Neill Mack of Hickory, 22-year-old Zachary Michael Bates of Morganton, and 18-year-old Isaiah Kane Mitchell of Lenoir. Early this morning, the Sheriff's Office announced the arrest of 20-year-old Toland Huff Jr., who is listed as homeless. Braswell is charged with felony accessory after the fact. Mack, Bates, Mitchell, and Huff are all charged with attempted first-degree murder. Mitchell also faces a charge of robbery with a dangerous weapon in Burke County. Huff is additionally charged with felony accessory after the fact, assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, felony probation violation, and discharge a firearm in the city limits. The first suspect arrested in this case, 20-year-old Garen Nathaniel Killian, had his bond revoked on Thursday. 22-year-old Patrick Lee Talbert of Hickory and 21-year-old Raekwon Malik Craig of Taylorsville were previously arrested and charged with 3 counts apiece of aiding and abetting a person under 21 years of age by allowing the possession of alcoholic beverages. These charges are related to the planning and promotion of the party that was going on at the residence, which was the location of the shooting. The suspects are all charged in connection to the early Sunday morning incident on Walnut Acres Drive in the Mountain View community of Catawba County. 58-year-old Sean Patrick Hood of Lenoir was killed. 11 others were injured in the incident. The investigation is continuing. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office is asking the public to call them with information at 828-464-3112. Reporting for WHKY News, this is Rob Eastwood.
Thank you, Rob. First appearances for the suspects arrested Thursday were scheduled today in Catawba County District Court. Bond is now set at $2.5 million for Huff, $500,000 for Mack, $300,000 for Bates, and $75,000 each for Mitchell and Braswell. 37-year-old Nathaniel James Tate of Stevens Road and 53-year-old Jerry Jerome Benjamin of David Bryant Avenue, both from Morganton, have been arrested by Burke County Sheriff's officers in connection with a shooting on May 31st on Cathy Road. Tate was charged with felony attempted first-degree murder, while Benjamin was charged with discharging a firearm into occupied property. On June 5th, after consulting with the District Attorney's Office, the Sheriff's Office obtained warrants for the arrest of both suspects. They were taken into custody with assistance from the U.S. Marshals. A juvenile was also charged with attempted murder and taken into custody. Following their arrest, Tate and Benjamin were both jailed without bond. They made first appearances in court today and continue to be held without bond. Both suspects will next appear in court on June 27th.
A Conover man has been given a minimum sentence of more than 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to murdering a woman 3 years ago. 28-year-old Shaquan Richard Gibbs was sentenced to 26 to 33 years following his conviction for second-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury. Gibbs was sentenced during Catawba County Superior Court on Wednesday. Gibbs entered a guilty plea for the June 19, 2022 shooting death of 47-year-old Amy Raylynn Phillips and for shooting her 23-year-old daughter and his longtime girlfriend, Kiera Kelly Johnson, multiple times. When Catawba County deputies and EMS personnel arrived at Phillips' Conover residence, they found Phillips deceased and Johnson suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Johnson was taken to Catawba Valley Medical Center and later transported by medical helicopter to Carolina's Medical Center in Charlotte for treatment of her injuries. Much more on the case at WHKY.com. I'm Ariana Mack reporting for WHKY.
A Newton man will spend 7 to 10 years in prison after his conviction for trafficking opium by possession. He was arrested following a traffic stop in 2022, leading to the charges in this case. He was sentenced during Catawba County Superior Court on Wednesday. 46-year-old Patrick Thomas Havens was given the active sentence by the Honorable Karen Edie Williams, Superior Court judge from Mecklenburg County, after the defendant entered a guilty plea. He will also be required to pay a mandatory fine of $750,000. During a traffic stop on July 31st of 2022, a canine alerted to the presence of drugs in the vehicle driven by Havens, leading to the recovery of a trafficking amount of opiates. Testing by the state crime lab confirmed the opiate seized to be fentanyl. Casey Day was the lead investigator for the Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Assistant District Attorney Melanie Earls prosecuted the matter for the state with aid from legal assistant Jordan Arney. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Thanks, Rob. More from the courtroom now. 33-year-old Xavier Latrell Smith of Conover was sentenced Thursday to serve 6 to 8 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to trafficking methamphetamine along with other drug and firearms charges. He will also be required to pay a mandatory fine of $50,000. The offenses stemmed from a probation search in June 2024. A canine alerted to the presence of drugs and paraphernalia in a vehicle at Smith's residence. Deputies found more drugs in the home and located 5 firearms under the house. The drugs tested positive for meth. Tyler Burgess was the lead investigator for the Sheriff's Office. Assistant District Attorney Melanie Earls handled the prosecution with aid from legal assistant Jordan Arney.
The Morganton Department of Public Safety continues to receive reports of scams targeting local residents. The scams come through various forms, some of which include phone calls, text messages, emails, or social media messages. Citizens are urged to be cautious. If you receive notifications regarding the NCDMV, NCDOT, jury duty, court appearances or warrants, bond requests, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency payments, payment of back taxes, or putting money on gift cards for any reason. These scams often impersonate court officials or law enforcement and may demand money or personal information. They falsely claim recipients owe unpaid fines, fees, or tolls. They are sent at random to individuals in an attempt to steal personal and financial information. Don't fall for it. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY News.
And that's our review of some of the crime stories we had for you during the past week, June 2nd through the 6th. You can find our weekly roundup every Saturday on our YouTube channel. That's where you'll also find our top stories, the crime report, local sports, and community focus. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you for watching the WHKY News.